Satnam, and welcome to today's Kundalini Yoga as taught by Yogi Bhajan. My name is Ann Taylor, and it is my privilege to lead you in yoga this morning. We'll begin by tuning in with the Adi Mantra by chanting Ong Namo Gurudev Namo 3 times, followed by the mantra for protection. Rubbing the palms of the hands together, placing them at the heart center, feeling the thumbs connecting with the sternum. Inhale deeply. Exhale, eyes are closed. Deep inhale. Exhale. And inhale to tune in. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Adgirinme, Jugadgirinme, Satgirinme, Sirigurudevinme, Adgirinme, Jugadgirinme, Satgirinme, Sirigurudevinme, Adgirinme, Jugadgirinme, Satgirinme, Sirigurudevinme. Inhale deeply, suspend the breath. And now we'll be doing the 1 minute breath, which is to inhale deeply through both nostrils for 20 seconds, suspend the breath for 20 seconds, and then a slow and exhaled 20-second through the nose once again. Now, for most people, that's difficult to achieve. So you may want to start with 10 seconds, 10 seconds, and 10 seconds. The important thing is to keep the ratios in balance. Inhale, suspend, and exhale. Same length of time. Allowing the eyes to close gently, rolling the eyes up to the third eye point. The hands are in Gyan Mudra. Thumb and index finger pressing. And let's begin. Inhaling deeply. Suspending when you get to the maximum amount of breath. Controlled and sustained exhale through the nose for the same number of seconds and continue the process. And inhale deeply. Exhale. And relax the breath. So if you're like me and like most people, there are certain segments, the inhale, suspend, exhale, inhale, suspend, exhale. Some of those steps may be easier than others. For example, I find I could suspend my breath. I have to make sure I don't suspend it too long because that's easier to do. And exhaling is harder to do. So that's why it's important to consciously count and make sure that you're keeping the segments equal. And with practice, like everything else, you'll be able to do 20 seconds, 20 seconds, 20 seconds, and thus the name, the 1 minute breath. Okay, next we'll do the Basic Spinal Series as part of our ongoing practice. And begin by grabbing hold of the ankles, inhaling forward, exhaling back. Finding a pace that works for you, not too slow, but check out, make sure that your back is nice and warmed up before you kick it up too fast. The eyes are closed and focused at the brow point, suspending your thoughts, and if a thought comes, just simply notice and return back to the breath. Full inhale, full exhale. Working on the lower spine with this specific hand position. Inhale deeply, suspend the breath, apply root lock. Exhale, relax the breath. Both hands in Gyan Mudra, resting on the knees, allowing the eyes to close and remain in a meditative state. And by that, I mean simply if a thought comes up, not a problem, simply notice and return back to the breath. And now coming into rock pose, sitting on the heels, placing the hands on the thighs keeping them rooted in one position as we continue. Spinal flex, inhaling forward, exhaling back. Being careful not to collapse the chest. Working on more of the spine, central area. Focusing your eyes at the brow point. Coordinating the breath with the motion. Inhale deeply, suspend the breath, apply root lock. Pulling up the muscles of the pelvic floor, pulling the navel in. And coming back into to easy pose. Again, allowing the hands to rest in Gyan Mudra. Eyes are closed and maintain an inward focus. And just allow the body to relax. And now, place the hands on the shoulders, thumbs in back, fingers in front, as we begin spinal twist. Inhaling to the left, exhaling to the right. Inhale left, exhale right. Finding a nice, smooth rhythm. There's no pause in the middle. When you get your rhythm, begin to silently vibrate Sat on the inhale, Nam on the exhale. Sat Nam, truth is my identity. Keeping the elbows up, shoulders are relaxed. If the mind wanders, simply refocus on the breath. Inhaling Sat, exhaling Nam. Opening up the heart center. Inhale center, suspend the breath, and pull root lock. Lifting the muscles of the pelvic floor, pulling the navel point in, suspending the breath. Exhaling hands into Gyan Mudra. Eyes focused at the brow point once again. Breathing normally, long and deep. And now interlace your fingers into bear grip. The left palm is facing away from your body. The right faces towards as you interlace your fingers. Keeping the forearms parallel to the floor, the shoulders are down, and the mudra is in front of the heart center. And as you pull, create a pivot point with the hands so that the hands, like the center of a clock, do not move. And let's begin to inhale the left elbow up as the right one comes down, and then exhale the right one up. Making sure the mudra doesn't start creeping up, keeping it in front of the heart center. Inhale and pull the mudra. Suspend the breath. Apply root lock. Exhale, arms down, again in Gyan Mudra. Breathing long and deep. And now placing your hands on your knees for yet another round of spinal flex in a different position. As we begin to inhale forward, exhale back. Feeling your whole spine engaged. Coordinate the inhale and exhale with the movement. Each vertebrae gets a shot of energy. Excellent. Keep going. 30 more seconds. Finish strong and focused. Inhale deeply, suspend the breath, apply root lock. Exhale, and again, allow the eyes to close, hands in Gyan Mudra. Nice, complete, deep breathing as you're relaxing, allowing the yoga to do its integrative work. And now grab hold of the knees as we begin shoulder shrugs. Inhaling the shoulders up, exhaling down. A nice, vigorous, rhythmic motion. Coordinating the breath on the inhale up, exhale down. So it's a fairly rapid breath. Moving the energy we've been creating and working on up through the neck to the upper regions in the brain. Keep going, just 15 more seconds. Inhale both shoulders up, suspend the breath, apply root lock. Exhale, relax the shoulders down. And now we'll begin neck rolls, making small circles at first. And reverse direction. Excellent. And inhale back to center. Again, we'll be doing the bear grip mudra, this time in front of the throat chakra, the throat center, about 6 to 8 inches away from your body. And let's do this together. Inhale, suspend the breath and pull root lock. Exhale, pull, apply root lock. Inhale the mudra over your head. And again, inhale deeply, suspend the breath, pull the mudra and apply root lock. Exhale, hold the breath out, pull root lock, pull the mudra. Inhale back to the throat. Suspend, pull, lock. Exhale, hold the breath out, pull, apply root lock. Inhale again over the head. Suspend the breath, pull and apply root lock. Exhale. Hold the breath out, apply root lock. And one last round. Inhale deeply, apply root lock and pull at the throat center. Exhale. Pull and lock. Inhale over the head, final time. Pull and lock. Exhale. Pull and lock. Inhale and relax the posture. Excellent. And the final exercise is Sat Kriya, coming into rock pose. Remembering that Sat Kriya is one of the few exercises or postures that can be done as a complete Kriya. Just simply tune in and begin. The mantra is Sat Nam, interlacing the fingers, extending the Jupiter finger, expansion, and follow my lead. Sat Nam, 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 pulling in the navel, Sat Nam, 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 Sat Nam. Inhale deeply, suspend the breath, apply root lock, squeeze the energy from the base of the spine up to the crown. Exhale, hold the breath out, apply root lock. Inhale. And now come back into easy pose. Just maintaining a meditative state. And now we'll come onto our back for a deep relaxation before we do our next Kriya. This will be a little bit of a shortened one. Simply lying on your back, Arms out to your sides. Letting go of all the muscles. Palms are up. And begin to make small circles with your wrists and ankles as you gently come out of the deep yogic sleep. Arms overhead, stretching out, pointing your toes, elongating your body, and bringing your knees up to your chest. Rocking the knees to one side as you turn your head to the other side, switching and rocking back up. Come seated in easy pose as we prepare to do Pittra Kriya. This Kriya is broken into 3 segments, each of which are 11 minutes long. It is not necessarily for beginners, so keep that in mind if you find it challenging. But you must not alter the times or delete any 3 parts. So please keep that in mind as we progress. If you need to sit it out, that's fine. Please do so. To do this will be to really de-stress the body and the mind. Its subtext is called clearing the subconscious. And the first part of it will work on the adrenal glands. And so we're using our physiology really to control our psychology. We're manipulating and massaging the organs, the adrenal the glands, and which in turn affects the autonomic nervous system. Okay, so the first segment of the Kriya is to take your left hand and place it on your heart center. The eyes will be focused at the tip of the nose. Your head, your chin will be in neck lock, Jalandhar Bandh. Simply means you're going to open up the back of the neck. So remembering, looking at the image, it's reversed. So just double check you're using your left hand. Now the right hand is going to be slightly cupped, and imagine that you are dipping into a pool of water and throwing the water behind you, not coming in sideways, but coming in fingers first, dipping in and throwing. So you're going to be flicking it. Make sure that you put the hand back far enough so it passes by the ear. Okay, so those are the critical steps. This is going to begin to hit the kidney energy, which the adrenals sit on top of the kidney. Relaxing into it now, finding the rhythm, keeping the breath nice and full. But you are not breathing fast, you're just breathing normally. Keep your focus. Fling that water. Clearing the subconscious. The elbow stays in the same position. It's a pivot point. We're not raising our elbows up. Inhale deeply, suspend the breath, and put the arm, the hand, as far back as you can on the suspended breath. Exhale and relax for just a moment. Okay, and Yogi Bhajan said that for this Kriya, do not do less than 11 minutes, do not do more than 11 minutes. The next one utilizes the mudra, the Suni Mudra, and that is involving the Saturn finger, the middle finger, Saturn being the structure, form of the universe, of thoughts, of patterns. And so Shunya Mudra is to take the thumb and cover the nail of the middle finger, the Saturn finger. And we're going to be flipping. You're going to be, the position will be to have your hands in front of you and out. So they're not just straight out, they're splayed a bit. And we're going to be flicking to the hada, hada, hada. Again, the eyes are focused on the tip of the nose. And let's begin. Hada, 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 hada. Keep flicking the fingers. Inhale deeply. Suspend the breath. Exhale, cannon breath. Keep flicking. Inhale deeply. When you get to the peak, suspend your breath. Exhale, cannon. And one last time. Inhale deeply. Let the rib cage really open. Exhale, cannon breath. And relax the hands down. Okay, the final segment, if you're ready. Again, the final segment, we will be chanting Hada, Hada. It's H-A-R, but you want to try to flick the tongue onto the upper palate, which hits meridian points 34, 35, 36, that affect the hypothalamus and regulates the pituitary. So lots going on here. This one, you're going to have your arms out like Superman. The elbows are straight, and so you're up about 15 degrees and then not directly in front. Again, like, just think of Superman. And the focus is again on the tip of the nose. And when we chant Hada, 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 we're going to be scissoring the arms. Elbows are locked. Focus is at the tip of the nose. Hada, 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 hada. Keep going. Hada, 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 hada. Keep the hands moving. Inhale deeply. Exhale, cannon. Inhale deeply and suspend. Exhale, cannon. One more deep inhale and suspend. Exhale, cannon. And relax the hands down. Allow the eyes to remain closed. Shaking out your arms a bit if you want to. Just breathing normally. Being with your experience. The last third portion was to balance the autonomic nervous system, the sympathetic and parasympathetic. And again, all three kriyas are to be done together and should never be done for more or less than 11 minutes when you're doing the Petra Kriya. And rubbing the palms together, placing them at the heart center. We'll close with a long Satnam. 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 I hope you enjoyed today's class, or at least got through today's class, and just see how you feel the rest of the day or tomorrow. And again, yoga, meditation, it's a cumulative practice. Sometimes you can practice for months or even years, then look back and say, ah, now I see. Satnam, have a wonderful day. Here she is. Such a sleepy girl today.